Hey guys, tonight we're not just whispering about history, we're taking a journey, a rather unsettling one, right into the heart of ancient Egypt. Imagine us, if you will, the scorching desert sun beating down, the air thick with the scent of spices and something else. Something a little more, well, embalmed. You're not just an observer tonight, you are the subject. You're lying on a cold, stone slab, the flickering torchlight dancing on the walls, revealing hieroglyphs that whisper tales of gods and the underworld. You can almost feel the dry desert air on your skin, a shiver running down your spine that has nothing to do with the temperature. This isn't your average historical stroll. This is a full immersion, a peek behind the curtain of eternity. And let's be honest, you probably wouldn't survive it in real life. No modern healthcare, no pain meds, just ancient magic and a lot of very sharp tools. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Also, let me know where you're tuning in from and what time it is for you. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. You awaken, or rather, you become aware, in a place that feels both ancient and impossibly real. The air is thick, not with dust, but with a dry, earthy scent, mingled with something sweet and resinous. It's cool, almost unnaturally so, a stark contrast to the oppressive heat you might imagine outside. You find yourself lying on a smooth, slightly cool surface, and as your senses slowly coalesce, you realize it's stone, hard, unyielding, and utterly still. Your body feels heavy, strangely disconnected. You try to move, to shift, but there's a peculiar stiffness, a lack of your usual fluidity. It's like being encased in something, yet you can feel the faint vibrations of footsteps, the rustle of linen. This isn't a dream. You realize with a creeping dread, this is something else entirely. The first thing that registers clearly, beyond the unsettling sensation of your own immobility, is the sound. A low, rhythmic chanting. A language you don't understand, but which resonates with an ancient, almost primal power. It's not threatening. Not exactly, but it's deeply, profoundly ritualistic. The voices are deep, gravelly, and they seem to surround you, coming from unseen figures just beyond the periphery of your vision. You attempt to open your eyes, and with a monumental effort, the heavy lids slowly lift. What greets you is a dimly lit space, illuminated by the flickering, dancing flames of oil lamps. The light casts long, wavering shadows on walls adorned with intricate carvings and vibrant paintings. Figures with animal heads, ibis, jackal, falcon stare out from the frescoes, their eyes seeming to follow your newfound awareness. This is no ordinary room, it's a place of transition, a threshold between worlds. You become aware of the presence of others. They move with a quiet purpose, their movements fluid and practiced. You glimpse their faces, or rather, the lower halves of their faces, as the upper portions are obscured by simple linen head coverings. Their hands, though, are what truly capture your attention. They are deft, precise, handling tools you can't quite identify from your supine position, but which gleam ominously in the lamplight. There's a quiet murmur of conversation, almost hushed, as if they are speaking in a sacred space. And indeed, they are. You are in a wabed, a purification tent, or perhaps even the pernefer, the house of beauty, where the most sacred and disturbing secrets of Egyptian mummification truly begin. A new sensation begins to register, a peculiar coolness on your skin, followed by a faint herbal aroma. It's not unpleasant, but it's definitely not a scent you've encountered before in a living context. You realize, Masi, with a jolt that sends a phantom shiver through your rigid form, that you are being touched. Hands, gloved in linen, are moving over your body with an unsettling familiarity. They are cleansing you, purifying you, a ritual washing that precedes the true work. This is where the ordinary person, if they were truly alive, would likely panic, thrash, and scream. But you, in this strange state, can only observe a prisoner in your own shell. It's a moment of profound vulnerability, a complete surrender to the hands of others, to their ancient beliefs and their precise, unyielding methods. You hear the distinct sound of flowing water, clean and clear, being poured over you, washing away the impurities of life and preparing you for the journey ahead. This purification, often using water from the Nile or special sacred pools, wasn't just about physical cleanliness. It was deeply symbolic, a ritual cleansing of the spirit as much as the body, preparing you to become one with Osiris, the god of the afterlife. Imagine the cool water trickling over your skin, a sensation both alien and strangely soothing in your current predicament. It's a sensory detail that sticks with you, a quiet whisper in the grand symphony of your impending transformation. This was a universal historical fact. Every individual, from pharaoh to commoner, who underwent mummification began with this ritual washing, a fundamental step in the elaborate process of preparing for the duat, the Egyptian underworld. As the washing concludes, the air grows heavy with a new scent, something acrid and slightly biting, yet still with herbal undertones. You sense a change in the atmosphere, a shift in the energy of the room. The chanting grows slightly louder, more insistent, as if calling upon unseen forces. This is where the true, disturbing secrets begin to unfold. The methods that defy modern sensibilities and push the boundaries of what you might consider respectful treatment of the deceased. You are about to become a vessel, a preserved shell for your soul, or Ba and your life force, or Ka to return to. The concept of the Ba as the human-headed bird that could fly freely, visiting the living world and returning to the tomb, is a fascinating, often overlooked detail that highlights the Egyptians' belief in an active, dynamic afterlife, where the deceased were not simply passive recipients of eternal rest. One of the figures, perhaps the chief embalmer, approaches you. You see their hands now, holding a long, thin, wickedly sharp instrument. Your breath, if you still had one, would catch in your throat. This is the moment of no return, the point where the physical body begins its irreversible transformation. The implement, a thin bronze hook, is gently, but firmly, inserted through one of your nostrils. There's no pain, of course, but the sensation of something entering your nasal cavity, pushing upwards, is undeniably unsettling. You can almost feel the delicate bone, the cartilage, yielding to its passage. This is the first, most infamous step in the removal of the brain, a process that many find particularly gruesome. The ancient Egyptians believed the heart was the seat of intelligence and emotion, while the brain was largely discarded, deemed unnecessary for the afterlife. This particular detail, the removal of the brain through the nose, is a widely known but still somewhat bizarre aspect of their embalming practices, a testament to their surgical precision, even without modern medical knowledge. The process of extracting the brain is not quick or clean. The instrument is manipulated, swirled, and the cerebral matter is slowly, painstakingly broken down into a liquid slurry. You feel, rather than see, the substance being drained out, dripping onto the stone slab beneath you, or perhaps into a waiting basin. It's a soundless internal horror, a violation of the most intimate part of your being, yet you remain a passive observer. This is where the pragmatism of the embalmers truly comes into play. They needed to remove anything that could decay quickly, and the brain, being largely water, was a prime candidate for putrefaction. The consistency of the extracted brain material, often described as a gray goo, was a testament to the thoroughness of this initial step. As the last remnants of the brain are flushed out, perhaps with palm wine or water, a momentary stillness descends. You are now, in essence, a hollow vessel from the neck up. This isn't just about removing the organ, it's about making space. About preparing the cranial cavity for packing with linen and resins later. The air, though still heavy with incense, seems to thin slightly, as if a weight has been lifted. You realize that what you're experiencing is not just a medical procedure, but a deeply spiritual one, steeped in religious belief and cultural significance. For them, it was not desecration, but consecration. The entire process was aimed at preserving the body as a fit dwelling for the Ka and Ba, ensuring the deceased's successful transition into the afterlife and their continued existence. Historians still debate the exact reasons for the varying degrees of brain removal throughout different periods of Egyptian history. Some evidence suggests simpler or less invasive methods were used at times, adding to the intrigue of their evolving techniques. The focus of the embalmers now shifts, moving to your torso. You feel the cool touch of their hands, tracing lines on your skin, outlining the precise incision they are about to make. The chanting resumes, a low, hypnotic hum, as if to steady their hands and ward off any malevolent spirits. This next step is equally crucial, and perhaps even more visibly gruesome than the brain removal. The internal organs, the very engines of your life, must be extracted. The ancient Egyptians understood the fragility of these organs, how quickly they would decompose and ruin the integrity of the body. Their solution was radical and effective. A long obsidian or flint knife is now in view, sharp and glinting. With a practiced hand, an incision is made, typically on your left side, just below the ribs. Again, no pain, but a profound sensation of opening, of separation. You are being meticulously dismembered, piece by piece, not in a violent sense, but with a terrifying precision, all for the sake of immortality. The cut is clean, deep enough to penetrate the abdominal cavity. You don't see the organs directly, but you feel the careful, expert hands reaching inside, exploring, detaching. The sounds are subtle, but present a soft squelch, the gentle pull of tissues. This is the heart of the mummification process, literally and figuratively, as these vital organs were believed to be essential for the deceased to thrive in the afterlife. The organs would then be placed into specific canopic jars, each lid carved to represent one of the four sons of Horus, tasked with protecting a particular organ. This division of labor among the deities highlights the deep religious framework underpinning every step of the mummification process. You lie there, an emptied vessel, as the embalmer's hands work tirelessly. Your liver, lungs, stomach, intestines. Each organ is gently removed, without haste or crudeness. You sense the growing hollowness within, a space once filled with life. One of the lesser-known facts about this process is that the heart was often left behind. The heart was considered the seat of intelligence, emotion, and the soul, an essential organ for the judgment in the afterlife. So it had to remain intact within the body. This stood in stark contrast to the brain, which they viewed as largely useless and merely to be discarded. Each extracted organ is carefully handled, not simply tossed aside. You feel them being lifted, cleaned, and then placed into special containers. These containers, are the canopic jars, each protected by one of the four sons of Horus. Your lungs are consigned to Hapi, the baboon-headed, your stomach to Duamutef, the jackal-headed, your liver to Imsati, the human-headed, and your intestines to Kebesanuef, the falcon-headed. Each jar is sealed carefully, containing a vital part of you, ready for the eternal journey. This meticulousness shows not only the ancient Egyptians' anatomical proficiency, but also their deep belief in the necessity of these organs for your rebirth in the afterlife. Once the abdominal cavity is completely empty, a new, much stronger scent begins to permeate the air. It's a blend of spices, resins, and perhaps a hint of palm wine, used to rinse out the body cavity. You feel a cool sensation envelop you as the embalmers thoroughly wash out the body cavity. They use palm wine, a potent antiseptic, to rigorously cleanse and remove any remaining traces of bodily fluids, preventing decomposition. Then they stuff the empty cavity with myrrh, cassia, and other aromatic spices. You can almost feel these dry, fragrant herbs being packed inside you, a layer of fragrant protection against decay. This wasn't just about keeping you looking good. This was an attempt to imbue you with the divine qualities of immortality, according to their beliefs. Now, one of the most critical and perhaps least appreciated parts of the mummification process is about to begin: the dehydration. You feel a rough saline substance being liberally applied all over your body. A thick, merciless coating. This is natron, a naturally occurring salt found in Egypt, a mixture of sodium carbonate and sodium bicarbonate. It's incredibly hygroscopic, meaning it powerfully absorbs moisture, and its purpose is to draw every drop of liquid from your body, turning you into something akin to a giant piece of jerky. The sensation of the natron covering you is the strangest. It's like being buried alive in salt, an airless preservation without air. You don't feel pain, but there's a peculiar gradual sensation of desiccation, a loss of moisture you hadn't known before. This is the crucial step to prevent decomposition. Without natron, all the preceding work would have been in vain. The embalmers stack large bags of natron on top of you, covering every inch of your form. You lie there, immobile, feeling the weight of the salt pressing down. The air around you grows drier, almost brittle. This is a prolonged process, not an instantaneous event. For the next 40 days, you will lie in this desiccating state, the natron slowly wicking away every last drop of water from your cells. You can imagine yourself as a colossal dried fruit, but without the sweetness, only the repulsion of decay being pushed back. The process is critical. While historians still debate whether the Egyptians fully understood the scientific mechanisms behind the dehydration, they certainly knew its efficacy, and that was all that mattered to them. During these 40 days, you can sense the subtle changes taking place. Your skin, once soft and pliable, now becomes stiff and leathery, almost like parchment. The contours of your body become more pronounced, a little more skeletal. As the watery mass disappears, it's a slow, inexorable transformation from a water-filled body to a preserved form. The embalmers would periodically check on you, brushing away old natron and adding fresh, ensuring the dehydration was even and effective. You lie there, part of a grand experiment in immortality, awaiting the completion of this vital step. As the 40 days conclude after the last layer of natron is brushed away, a clean, dry sensation washes over you. You are no longer heavy with salt, but lighter, almost ethereal. Your skin is now dark brown, almost mottled, and has a slight sheen to its surface. Your body has been preserved. It's a success, a victory over putrefaction. You have become a saw, a preserved form for the afterlife, an eternal replica of your human self. Still, the process is not complete. While you've been dehydrated, you still need further protection from the elements and from potential grave robbers, both mundane and supernatural. Now, the embalmers begin the process of treating your skin. You feel them anointing your entire body with a special, faintly scented oil. It's a mixture of cedar oil, linseed oil, and other waxes. This oil not only helps to soften and protect your leathery skin, but also adds a layer of waterproofing and insect repellent. It gives you a slightly glossy appearance, almost shimmering in the faint lamplight. This is an important step to make you look a bit more lifelike, a preparation for your final appearance. It also imparts a more pleasant aroma, replacing the pungency of the natron with something more fragrant and sacred. After the oil is thoroughly massaged and you sense the embalmers beginning to pack your body cavity and chest cavity with linen scraps, sawdust, and sometimes even sand or resin. The purpose is to restore your natural body shape, so you don't appear sunken after the removal of the organs. You feel the pressure of the packing material, the fullness returning to those empty spaces. For the Egyptians, maintaining your original form was crucial for rebirth. If your body wasn't recognizable, your soul might not be able to find it upon its return. This is a unique and often overlooked detail. The packing was not just aesthetic, but held profound religious significance, ensuring you still looked like yourself, albeit preserved. Once you have been packed and your body reshaped, you feel them beginning to place small, flat items on your body. These are amulets. Each amulet has a specific purpose to protect you from harm, to bring good fortune, or to ensure you have food and drink in the afterlife. You feel the cool press of metal or stone against your skin. For instance, a heart scarab amulet was often placed over your chest, believed to prevent your heart from testifying against you at the final judgment before Osiris. These amulets were not just ornaments, they were magical artifacts, shields and tools for navigating the dangerous duat. A gentle joke you might hear whispered from one embalmer to another. Under their breath, don't forget the mouth-opening amulet, or you won't be able to answer the gods. A light-hearted reminder of their belief in the importance of being able to speak and breathe in the afterlife. Historians still debate the exact nature of the verbal rituals that accompanied the placement of each of these amulets, whether each had a specific incantation recited or merely a solemn silence. Now, the final phase of body preparation is drawing near the wrapping. You feel long, pliable strips of linen beginning to be wound around you. Layer upon layer, they are tightly but not excessively wrapped, forming a protective casing around your form. Each strip is saturated with resin and gum, turning them into a fragrant, impenetrable armor. Keeping out air and moisture, the warm, sweet scent of resin permeates the air, like a comforting blanket. The wrapping process is time-consuming and requires great skill. Hundreds of meters of linen were used, and each layer was placed with deliberate purpose. You can feel the gentle pressure as each layer is added, gradually encasing you in a protective shell. The embalmers start from your toes, wrapping each digit individually first, then your feet and lower legs. You feel them work with incredible patience, ensuring no toe or finger is left unwrapped. This is an extremely meticulous process, and occasionally smaller amulets were placed between the layers of bandages, hidden away for extra protection. You are a work of art being completed, a living statue of eternity. You lie there, enveloped in layers of linen, feeling each strip wound carefully around you. The embalmers work in quiet concentration, only occasionally a soft murmur breaking the silence. This entire wrapping process isn't just about preserving the body. It's also a symbolic ritual, an act of recreation, transforming you from a deceased individual into a deity-like figure akin to Osiris, who died and was reborn. You feel the rough yet soft linen strips being wound around your limbs. Each arm, each leg, then your torso and head. Every finger and toe is also individually wrapped, a meticulousness that speaks to the importance of each body part. You can almost feel the prayers being whispered with each layer, though you don't understand the language. As the wrapping progresses, you sense other amulets being placed between the layers of bandages. An Isis knot amulet, known as the Tiet or Tayet, is placed near your neck, believed to offer the protection of the goddess Isis. A Jed pillar amulet, symbolizing stability and the backbone of Osiris, might be placed at your back, lending firmness to your afterlife. These aren't just decorative, they are magical artifacts, believed to protect you from malevolent spirits and ensure a smooth passage through the duat. You feel their weight. Small yet immensely significant, hidden deep within your linen cocoon. The wrapping is a lengthy process. Taking several days to complete, you feel the embalmers return to work in the mornings. Presumably after a night's rest, the linen strips are applied in a specific pattern, crisscrossing and overlapping, creating a strong, protective structure. They are not merely wrapping, they are creating a living statue of yourself, an immutable form that will endure forever. As the layers build, Your body's contours become softer, less angular, a more serene image. By the end, you are completely encased from head to toe in a linen shell. Over the linen layers, you feel a coating of resin being applied to the surface. This resin, often conifer resin, is warmed and brushed onto your wrapped linen. It not only helps to seal the layers of bandages together, creating a harder, protective outer shell, but it also has waterproofing and antimicrobial properties. The warm, pungent, sweet smell of resin permeates the air, adding to the complex aromas of the ritual. As the resin dries, you feel your outer casing becoming harder, almost like an armor. This is your final layer of protection against degradation and a physical deterrent against potential grave robbers, though, as history has shown, not always a successful one. Once the resin has fully dried, you sense a shroud, often a large linen sheet painted with depictions of gods and sacred texts being draped over you. This is a final spiritual layer of protection, a blanket of prayers and incantations. Over this shroud, a funerary mask is often placed on your face. This isn't just a mask, it's your new face in the afterlife, an idealized, blemish-free visage. It might be made of gilded plaster, painted in vibrant colors, or for the exceptionally wealthy. It could be crafted from solid gold, like the famous funerary mask of Tutankhamun. You feel its lightness as it is carefully positioned over your wrapped face. This mask serves a profound purpose. It provides a face for your B and K to recognize when they return to the body. If your soul couldn't find or identify its own body, it might wander eternally, never achieving peace in the afterlife. So, this mask is not just an artistic piece, it's an essential artifact for your eternal existence. Historians still debate the extent to which these masks were individualized, whether they were crafted to resemble the deceased or were standardized images of immortality. As the mask is settled into place, a sense of solemnity and completion washes over you. You have been transformed, prepared. You are no longer just an individual. You are a Sa, a deified form, ready for your journey into eternity. The air around you grows quiet, save for the murmuring of final prayers. The embalmers finish their work, step back, and you feel an air of anticipation settle over the space. Now, you are placed into your first coffin. For a pharaoh or a wealthy noble, this was often a series of nested coffins, like Russian dolls. You feel your wrapped body carefully lifted and positioned within the intricately carved wooden coffin. The scent of cedarwood and varnish fills the air. The lid is closed and you are plunged into an enclosed darkness. This sensation of enclosure isn't frightening. Instead, it feels like a secure cocoon, a protection from the outside world. As you are placed into the coffin, you can hear the sounds of porters moving, the chanting of prayers, and the wailing of professional mourners. This is a common historical fact. Ancient Egyptian funerals were public affairs, a spectacle of grief and reverence. You, in your coffin, are being carried out of the Pernefer, the house of purity, and beginning your final procession to your eternal resting place. The funeral procession begins. You feel the gentle swaying as your coffin is carried on the shoulders of porters. Though you cannot see, you can imagine the crowds gathered, watching your funeral cortege proceed. You feel the faint touch of the sun filtering through the wooden layers, a subtle shift in temperature. The sounds of the mourners grow louder, their laments echoing in the air. Professional wailing women were often hired for Egyptian funerals, their shrieks and hair pulling a dramatic display of sorrow to honor the deceased. You are on your way to your final resting place, a tomb meticulously constructed to protect you through eternity. The path can be bumpy, and you feel the slight jostling as your porters traverse uneven terrain. A gentle joke you might hear whispered from one porter to another. "He's heavy. I bet he ate all the mummified geese." It sounds silly, but it cuts through the solemnity of the moment. You feel a halt, and then a change in the air. The strong desert and hot sand smell is replaced by a damp, earthy, and cool scent. You are entering a tomb. The light grows dimmer, and the sounds of the outside world slowly fade. The porters carefully set you down, and you feel the solidity of the ground. The tomb is a labyrinth of corridors and chambers, designed to confuse and deter grave robbers. You're being carried into a burial chamber, a sacred resting place. You feel the heavy stone doors creak open as they are unbarred, revealing a grand, solemn space. Inside, you are not alone. Beside you, your funerary goods are placed around, the items you will need in the afterlife. Food, drink, clothing, furniture, jewelry. A treasure trove of items designed for you to have a luxurious existence in the afterlife. The belief that you would need these items in the afterlife is a universal historical fact about Egyptian culture. A unique detail is that sometimes, even the deceased's pets were mummified and buried with them. You can imagine the spirit of a cat or a dog, also prepared for the eternal journey, awaiting reunion with you. Historians still debate whether mummifying pets was an act of sentimentality or merely part of the ritual necessities for a complete afterlife. You feel yourself being placed into a larger stone coffin, a sarcophagus, carved from granite or basalt. This is your ultimate layer of protection, a fortress against time and intruders. The heavy sarcophagus lid is lowered, and you are plunged into complete darkness. The last sound you hear is the grinding of stone against stone, as the masons seal you within your eternal chamber. Now, you are utterly alone in the darkness, protected by layers of linen, resin, wood, and stone. The air in the tomb is still, dusty, and cold. You no longer feel the desert heat or the sounds of the living world. You have completed your journey from the living to the dead, and now you await the final judgment before Osiris. You can hear the faint echoes of prayers, the hymns written on the tomb walls, the promises of immortality. You lie there, in the silent darkness of the tomb, surrounded by your funerary provisions. There is no sound, no light, just the quiet presence of objects designed to serve you in eternity. You feel the weight of the stone sarcophagus lid, a constant reminder of your complete isolation. Time seems to have lost all meaning here, a concept the ancient Egyptians sought to conquer at all costs. They dedicated their lives to preparing for this moment, the moment your existence was secured through death. A common historical fact that every visitor to an Egyptian museum knows is that these tombs weren't merely burial places. They were eternal homes, fully furnished to replicate the life you once had. You can sense the presence of wine jars, baskets of dried fruit, even elaborate clothing, all carefully arranged around you. These weren't mere decorative items, they were essential for your journey. The Egyptians believed you would need them, in spirit form, to sustain your existence in the afterlife, just as you did in this world. You begin to sense a subtle shift in the atmosphere, an inexplicable chill, not of dropping temperature, but of presence. This is a lesser-known detail sometimes. Tombs were believed to be inhabited by supernatural guardians, spirits tasked with watching over you from any intrusion. You can imagine them as faint shadows, silently standing sentinel at the entrance, their unseen eyes sweeping the corridors. The feeling isn't frightening, just a reminder that you're not entirely alone in this stillness. Time passes, measured by the turning of seasons you no longer perceive, only by subtle changes in air pressure or faint vibrations from above. Then one day, a disturbance, a sound. At first just a faint, distant scraping, almost imperceptible. Then it grows clearer, closer. The sounds of chipping and prying at stone. Your silent guardians. Those spirits have perhaps failed? Or maybe they were just whispers on the wind. This was a pervasive fear for the ancient Egyptians' tomb robbers. You feel a tremor through the stone as a heavy object is shifted. The faint glow of a torch, though obscured by your layers of stone and wood, still penetrates the absolute darkness you've grown accustomed to. The smell of dust and a pungent odor of human presence invades the tomb. This isn't the sacred scent of frankincense and myrrh. This is the smell of the mundane and of intrusion. A gentle joke, yet bitterly ironic, might flicker through your consciousness. Seriously, just when I had everything tidied up, you can hear whispers, the shuffling of feet, the clinking of objects. The robbers are here. Though your tomb was built with elaborate traps and terrifying curses, they were often not enough to deter the determined pursuit of wealth. You feel a jolt as your outer sarcophagus is opened. A faint light penetrates the gap, and you sense the air shift as the intruders enter. Rough hands begin to touch your outer casing, feeling the carved surfaces of the wooden coffin. They are assessing its value, checking for adornments and gilded layers. You feel your coffin being moved, pulled and shifted. Though you cannot see, you can picture the scene of the plunderers, their faces grimy, their eyes glinting with greed in the faint torchlight. The sounds of prying and levering, then a heavy thud as the lid of your outer coffin is tossed aside. The air in the chamber instantly changes, and you feel a draft pass over you. Your outer shell has been violated. The robbers have found their way in, and now they're getting closer to you, the preserved core of the tomb. You feel coarse hands touching your hardened resin layer, then the linen bandages. They are searching for valuables, for hidden amulets, for jewelry buried with you. You feel the snip of shears, or perhaps the edge of a knife, tearing through your linen layers. There is nothing more violating than being unraveled, your carefully crafted protective layers ripped apart by those with no respect for the sacred. You can almost hear the tearing fabric, layer by layer, revealing what lies beneath. A gentle joke you might hear one plunderer say to another, "Well, at least we don't have to worry about him screaming." As the linen layers are torn away, the faint torchlight reaches you, highlighting your desiccated form. The amulets hidden between the bandages are retrieved, yanked from their resting places. The heart scarab, the teat amulet, the jed pillar, all are taken, their protective power stripped away. You feel the emptiness where these charms once lay, a sense of vulnerability and unprotectedness. This is a sad but common historical fact. Many Egyptian tombs were plundered, and intact ones are exceedingly rare. The robbers are not concerned with your immortality. They are only interested in the gold, the jewels, and the valuable items you brought with you to the afterlife. They overturn your funerary goods, break jars, and tear through paintings in search of any remaining trinkets. You feel the vibrations of their destruction, a defiling of your eternal resting place. Historians still debate whether the curses of the pharaohs truly held power or were merely warnings designed to deter grave robbers. But in this moment, you wish they were true. Finally, when the robbers have taken all they can carry, they leave. You feel the heavy stone doors creak as they close again, and then the heavy drag as they attempt to reseal the tomb. If only temporarily. Darkness envelops you once more, but this time, it is not the darkness of peace. It is the darkness of violation, of desecration, of an eternal resting place disturbed. You lie there, stripped and emptied, yet still preserved. Though your funerary goods are gone, you yourself remain intact, a testament to the success of the mummification process. Still, your spirit feels a stirring of unease. With your provisions lost and your amulet stripped, are you still fully equipped to navigate the Duat? Can your Ka and Ba return to a body so disturbed? These questions flit through you, a subtle anxiety in your immobile existence. Then, another event unfolds. It could be hundreds or thousands of years later. But to you, what past time simply is. This time, the sounds are different. Not the crude prying of robbers, but a gentler, more calculating tapping, accompanied by hushed voices speaking an entirely unfamiliar language. The smells are also different, the damp earth and stone, but also a faint metallic odor. These are not robbers, these are archaeologists. You feel the final seals of the tomb being broken, and a rush of new air, cool, crisp, and carrying the distant smells of a strange modern world. Floods in. The light is far brighter than the robber's torch, the glow of electric lamps or flashlights. You feel hands touch you with caution, unlike the roughness of the plunderers. There is a respect in these touches, a scientific curiosity. You sense yourself being lifted, removed from your sarcophagus, freed from your final protective layer. The air outside the tomb is a shock. Though you don't breathe, you sense the vastness and the change in pressure and the presence of many people. You are brought into the daylight for the first time in millennia. You feel the sun on your desiccated skin, a strange sensation after centuries in cold darkness. You are carried out of the tomb, placed on a softer surface, and you hear the click of cameras, the rustle of pencils on paper, the murmurs of astonishment. You are a discovery, a historical mystery unveiled. The archaeologists carefully examine you, documenting every detail. You feel them touch your remaining linen, study your form, and speak to each other in a language you cannot comprehend, yet you catch repeated words: mummy, ancient, pharaoh. You are an artifact, a testament to a long-lost civilization. A gentle joke you might hear one archaeologist say to another: "Well, he looks rather put out. I think we woke him up." Historians still debate the ethical implications of excavating and displaying these preserved remains, whether it's a disrespect to the deceased or an essential contribution to human knowledge. You feel yourself being transported once more, this time in a modern conveyance, far smoother than ancient porters. The smells of the modern world, gasoline, plastic, and strange perfumes waft over you. You are being taken not to an afterlife, but to a place where you will be studied, displayed, and marveled at. You are no longer resting in the silence of your tomb. You are a witness to history, a tangible reminder of a civilization that achieved immortality. Now, you lie in a museum, within a climate-controlled glass case. The air is dry, the light subdued, and you can sense the presence of thousands of eyes gazing upon you each day. You hear the whispers of visitors, the patter of children's feet, the voice of a docent recounting your story. You are an attraction, a legend brought into plain sight. You have undergone the journey from the living to the dead, and then to a public immortality. You are no longer just an individual, you are a piece of history, a reminder of the disturbing secrets and strange beauty of Egyptian mummification. You lie there, exhibited, a desiccated yet enduring testament to a civilization that redefined the very concept of death. The light from the museum lamps is subdued, yet sufficient to illuminate every crease in your worn linen and the faded hues of your treated skin. The air, carefully controlled for humidity and temperature, is devoid of scent, save for the quiet stillness of time itself. You feel the subtle vibrations from the footsteps of countless visitors shuffling past, each pausing for a moment to contemplate your existence. One of the more curious things you might pick up on as visitors approach is the hushed debates they have. You overhear whispers about the process, about the kings and queens you might have once been contemporaries with, and about the ghostly legends surrounding the pharaoh's curse. A common historical fact many still wonder about is whether these mummies actually carried curses that brought misfortune. You, as a mummy, know there was no magical curse to strike anyone down. Only the lack of understanding and sometimes toxic gases generated by decomposing organic materials within certain ancient tombs. This was often the source of the curse myths, a lesser-known detail than the Hollywood theatrics. You sense a small child, with wide, curious eyes, pointing at you. You hear her mother whisper about the afterlife and what happened after they died. This is the true meaning of your existence now. You are an educational artifact, a living lesson in ancient beliefs and practices. Historians still debate the precise extent to which we can truly understand the spiritual experiences of the ancient Egyptians regarding death and the afterlife. Whether our modern reconstructions truly approximate their genuine beliefs, though you have no ability to move, You can sense the attention of the crowds, an energy focused on you. You are a silent star of the museum, drawing admiration and awe from every generation. You have traversed millennia, from a corpse to a relic, and now a central figure in a story of the past. You might hear a voice echo from a group of students. So they pulled the brain out through the nose, right? A gentle, unseeable smile. If you could still smile, crosses your being. Yes, children, yes. Periodically, you sense the presence of experts, Egyptologists, conservators, scientists. They don't look at you with the casual curiosity of a visitor, but with the serious attention of scholars. You feel them sweep lights over you, take photographs, and make notes. You might hear their hushed discussions about your embalming techniques, about the dating of your linen, about the types of resins used in your process. To them, you are not merely an exhibit. You are a living book, a trove of information waiting to be deciphered. You have become an icon. You are a reminder of human ingenuity, of belief in immortality, and of the resilience of material over time. You have endured the disturbing process of evisceration and desiccation, the meticulousness of wrapping and adornment, and the silence of the tomb. And now, here you lie, a vivid testament to the ancient secrets of Egypt. A gentle joke. If you could whisper it, if they only knew what I went through, I think they'd stop complaining about airport security. Though there is the common historical fact that modern technology like CT scans and X-rays are now used to see through you without unwrapping, showing how contemporary science has provided new ways to both respect and study ancient remains like yourself. You lie there, listening to the voices around you, fragments of modern life drifting past you, the chime of a phone, the scuff of shoes on the floor, the murmur of laughter, all are part of a world you left behind thousands of years ago. And now, you are a part of it again, albeit in a different state. You are no longer resting in the quiet darkness of a tomb. You are a beacon of history, drawing people from all corners of the world to witness your extraordinary existence. Some days, you sense the quiet settling over the museum after closing hours. Long shadows fall from other exhibits, and you are plunged back into isolation. But even in those silent moments, you know you are not truly alone. You are part of a vast collection, part of a much larger story of human history. You are a mummy, a relic, a whisper from the past, and you will continue to tell your story to generations yet to come. Your existence is a reflection of eternity itself. The ancient Egyptians sought to achieve it with all their might, and in this way they succeeded remarkably. You are proof of their profound belief that death was not an end, but a gateway to another form of existence. You are a reminder that even when the physical body withers and decays, the ideas and legacy of a civilization can live on forever. You sense a strange lightness in your immobile state, an acceptance of your fate. You are no longer a person wishing to live or breathe. You are an artifact, a silent teacher. Every crack in your skin, every remaining shred of linen, every faded pigment on your restored funerary mask tells a story. You are a library of the past, a treasure trove of secrets waiting to be unlocked by those who come and gaze upon you. You lie there and still within your glass enclosure, a steadfast symbol of endurance through the ages, a whisper from a long-lost world. Though you no longer perceive the flow of time as the living do, you are a vivid testament to the millennia that have passed. Every crease in your desiccated skin, every hairline fracture in your hardened resin layers, is a chapter in your ongoing narrative. You have borne witness to the fall of dynasties, the rise of new civilizations, and the constant shift of human belief. You sense a faint tremor as a group of children, bubbling with excitement, passes by your display case. Their giggles and hushed conversations fill the space. A small boy asks, "Mommy, did it hurt when they did that?" You hear his mother's gentle reassurance. "No, sweetie, he couldn't feel anything then." This is a common historical fact many people wonder about, a detail that evokes human empathy for the dread of death and its aftermath. You are a tangible representation of a world where death was not an ending, but a transition. The ancient Egyptians spent their entire lives preparing for this moment, hoping to secure an eternal existence in the afterlife. You sense the quietude of that understanding, a peace that came to you after such a disturbing process. This is a lesser-known detail. Many ancient Egyptians prepared for their deaths from a very young age, accumulating grave goods and planning their funerals as an integral part of their living existence. In the museum's dimmed halls after closing, you settle into a deeper stillness. There's only the soft hum of the climate control system and the occasional distant chirp of an alarm. In these moments, you can almost perceive the ancient spirits gliding past, the Ba and Ka of deities you were blessed by, of pharaohs you were meant to join. It's a feeling of timeless connection, a strange intersection of the physical and spiritual realms. You might overhear a hushed voice from one of the night guards on his radio. Nothing unusual in the Egypt section, just our ancient friend getting some rest. A gentle joke, a lighthearted acknowledgement of the familiarity and otherness between you and them. Historians still debate the extent to which belief in deities and spirits shaped embalming rituals, whether it was a genuine spiritual conviction or merely a tool for social control and maintaining power structures. Though you cannot move or speak, you are telling a story. You tell the story of how highly a civilization valued immortality. So much so that they were willing to undergo what we now consider the most gruesome of procedures. You tell the story of the skilled artisans who perfected the art of mummification, and the scribes who recorded the spells and incantations meant to guide you through the underworld. You are a living archive of knowledge, a testament to the complexities of human belief. Occasionally, you sense the delicate vibrations of conservation efforts. The gloved hands of scientists, gently examining your linen, cleaning away any dust or debris that has accumulated over time. They are not intervening in your mummification, but merely preserving it, ensuring your continued survival for future generations. You sense the respect in their touches, a deep appreciation for your historical and scientific value. You have become a bridge between the past and the present. You allow the living to touch history in a tangible way, to imagine a world where death was not a terrifying end, but a new beginning. You are a reminder that we, even as part of the modern world, can still learn so much from the wisdom and beliefs of those who came before us. You are a secret unveiled, a whisper from the pyramids, and you will continue to inspire awe and curiosity. You sense an acceptance of your fate. You are no longer a deceased individual. You are an artifact, a silent narrator. You will continue to lie there, within your glass case, witnessing the changing seasons and the passing generations, an eternal testament to the disturbing secrets and strange beauty of Egyptian mummification. You are a symbol of immortality, a reminder of the beliefs of a people who saw death as but one step on the path to an unending life. You lie there, enveloped in the quietude of eternity, your linen and resin layers now one with your protective casing. Each day, a new stream of people flows past, their eyes tracing over you with curiosity, wonder, and sometimes a hint of apprehension. You sense their energy, their murmurs, and the pervasive presence of a world that continues to surge forward, while you remain immobile in the past. This is a common historical fact. Museums across the globe house mummies, turning them into silent ambassadors of ancient Egypt. One of the stranger things you might pick up on is the way different people react to you. Some rush past quickly, only pausing for a fleeting glance, as if your image is too intense to dwell upon. Others linger longer, reading every placard, trying to unravel your story. You sense their focused attention, a strange connection across millennia. You are a tangible reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring strength of belief. A lesser-known detail is the significance of the opening of the mouth ritual after mummification. While you cannot speak or eat, the ancient Egyptians performed a special ceremony known as the opening of the mouth ritual on your statue or mask. This ritual was believed to restore your ability to see, hear, speak, and eat in the afterlife. You sense the faint impression of it in your consciousness, a final act to ensure your full existence in eternity. Historians still debate whether this ritual was performed on the mummy itself or only on effigies and masks. Archaeological evidence suggests both could have occurred depending on the period and the deceased's status. You overhear a whispered remark from a group of teenagers passing by. "That's so creepy. Imagine what they did to him." A gentle joke, a playful comment from those who cannot grasp the sanctity of the process to the people who performed it. You, in your stillness, know it wasn't creepy to them, but an act of reverence, an effort to transcend death and ensure everlasting life. Your journey is a story of transformation. From a living person, you became a deceased one, then a mummy, and now a historical artifact. Each stage carried its own challenges and its own meaning. You have endured the horrors of the mummification process, the isolation of the tomb, and the scrutiny of the modern world. And now, here you lie, a vivid testament to the disturbing secrets and strange beauty of Egyptian mummification. You sense the air in the museum occasionally shift as new exhibitions are installed or new items are brought in. You are not alone. You are part of a vast collection, each artifact telling its own distinct story. You can perceive the presence of fragments from other tombs, statues of deities, and papyrus scrolls filled with ancient narratives. All whisper their secrets, forming a silent symphony of history. In the quiet hours of the night, when the museum is closed and the sounds of the living world fade, you sense a peace. It's a different peace than the stillness of the tomb, but a peace nonetheless. You are a reminder that even after death, there is a form of existence. Your journey from a departed soul to a displayed mummy is a narrative of resilience and a testament to the belief in eternity. You are proof of human ingenuity, of belief in an afterlife, and of the intricate nature of ancient rituals. Every crack in your linen, every faint trace of resin, is a reminder of a process that was performed with careful consideration and utmost reverence. You are a bridge between worlds, a whisper from the past, and you will continue to inspire those who come to gaze upon you. You lie there, serene in your glass enclosure, a silent witness to the flow of time. Your stories are recounted daily by strangers who come and go, each carrying their own thoughts and feelings about your remarkable existence. You sense the resonance of their words, a constant symphony of whispers and murmurs, all focused on you. Occasionally, you feel a subtle chill waft through the air as a large door opens and closes, signaling a shift in museum staff or the arrival of a larger tour group. Though you don't perceive the weather outside, you know that the world continues its rotation, with its rainy days and sunny days, its changing seasons and passing years. You are a stone in the river of time, an anchor in the vast ocean of ceaseless change. A common historical fact you might overhear mentioned is just how many resources the ancient Egyptians poured into preparing for death. From the construction of colossal tombs to the crafting of elaborate funerary goods, everything was designed to ensure your immortality. You are tangible proof of that belief, a testament to their immense dedication. This wasn't solely for pharaohs, but for many high-status individuals in society. Demonstrating the universal importance of death in their culture, a lesser-known detail is that the ancient Egyptians believed the afterlife was an idealized version of the earthly world. You would continue to work, eat, and enjoy life, but without its hardships or illnesses. Therefore, your funerary goods weren't just items for display. They were functional articles, designed for you to use in another plane of existence. You can almost imagine yourself getting up, moving among these items, enjoying an eternal feast. Historians still debate whether this idea of an idealized afterlife was a comforting thought or a practical reflection of their desire for a better life. You hear a visitor whisper to their companion, "He looks like he could tell us 1,000 stories." A gentle joke, yet it strikes at the core of your existence. You are telling 1,000 stories, just not with words. Every crack in your linen, every nuanced shade of your desiccated skin, every faint trace of resin is a word, a sentence, a paragraph in a living chronicle of the past. You are a testament to the complexities of human belief, a reminder that people from all ages have strived to understand and conquer the mysteries of death. You have traversed millennia, from a corpse in a tomb to an artifact in a museum, and you continue to draw the curiosity of humankind. You are a symbol of resilience, a whisper from the desert sands, and you will continue to inspire those who come and gaze upon you. You lie there, the echoes of countless gazes lingering on your preserved form, each glance a thread connecting your ancient existence to the bustling present. You sense the faint hum of the museum's climate control, a modern guardian ensuring your continued preservation, far different from the spiritual watchers of your original tomb. The air is meticulously filtered, removing any trace of the desert dust that once settled on your newly wrapped form. A common historical fact that often captivates visitors is the sheer longevity of the mummification process itself. It was not a quick task. It spanned 70 days, a ritualistic period mirroring the journey of Osiris through the underworld. You embody this prolonged dedication, every fiber of your being a testament to the belief that time, meticulously managed, could defy decay. You reflect this profound patience, your very stillness a monument to their enduring faith. You sense a subtle shift in the museum's atmosphere as children, perhaps on a school trip, approach your display. Their small hands press against the glass, leaving faint smudges, their innocent faces peering in with unadulterated wonder. You overhear a teacher explaining the concept of the weighing of the heart, the ultimate judgment in the afterlife. This particular detail is often overlooked in popular culture, yet it was absolutely central to the ancient Egyptian spiritual journey. They believed that your heart, the seat of your being, would be weighed against the feather of Maat, the goddess of truth and justice. If your heart was heavy with misdeeds, it would be devoured by Ammit, the devourer of the dead, a terrifying creature with the head of a crocodile, the body of a lion, and the hindquarters of a hippopotamus. You imagine this cosmic scale? The delicate balance of justice? Would your heart have been light, free from the burdens of sin, or would it have been heavy, condemning you to oblivion? It's a profound question, one that haunted the living and shaped their moral compass. Historians still debate the extent to which the fear of this judgment truly influenced the daily lives and ethical decisions of ordinary Egyptians. You might hear a museum guide quip to a group of adults. He's been on a diet for a few thousand years. I'd say his heart's probably pretty light now. A gentle joke, a moment of levity in the face of such ancient solemnity, but it brings a faint, unseeable twitch to your preserved lips. This weighing of the heart was the grand finale of your journey, the moment your eternal fate was decided. All the meticulous mummification, the prayers, the grave goods all led to this solitary moment of judgment. You are a silent echo of that belief, a tangible link to a civilization obsessed with not just prolonging life, but ensuring a righteous one, leading to a blissful existence in the field of reeds. You are a conduit to a world where morality had cosmic consequences. The spells and charms buried with you, now long gone thanks to the grave robbers, were meant to help you navigate this treacherous judgment, to ensure your heart did not betray you. You sense the collective awe of the visitors as they ponder this profound spiritual test, a universal aspiration for justice and a fear of eternal damnation. You exist as a timeless reminder of human ambition, the desire to transcend the limitations of the physical world and find meaning in the afterlife. You are not just a body, but a vessel of ancient beliefs, a quiet storyteller of a civilization that looked death in the face and sought to transform it into a doorway to eternity. You lie there, bathed in the soft, controlled light of the museum, your ancient form a silent testament to a journey completed and a promise kept. The whispers of the visitors have faded into a distant hum, replaced by the quiet assurance of your enduring presence. You are no longer merely a preserved body. You are a legacy, a living echo of a civilization that looked death in the face and transformed it into a stepping stone to eternity. A common historical fact that resonates through your very being is the enduring power of monuments. The pyramids, the elaborate tombs, the meticulously prepared mummies, all were built to last, to ensure that the memory of the deceased and the civilization that honored them would never truly fade. You are a small personal monument within that grand tapestry, a testament to the belief that to be remembered is to achieve a form of immortality. Your existence, laid bare for all to see, fulfills that ancient yearning for an unending presence. You sense the occasional lingering gaze, perhaps from an elderly visitor, their eyes filled with a wistful reflection on their own mortality. You are a mirror to them, a glimpse into what lies beyond, yet also a source of comfort, knowing that even in death, there can be a profound sense of continuity. This is a lesser-known detail. The Egyptians believed that the afterlife wasn't just for the elite. It was potentially accessible to all who followed the proper rituals and lived a righteous life. Your presence, whether you were a pharaoh or a humble noble, speaks to this universal aspiration. You might overhear a parent explaining to their child, "He's been here for thousands of years, longer than anyone alive today." A gentle joke, perhaps, but one that highlights the staggering span of time you have witnessed. Historians still debate the exact timeline of the decline of mummification practices, whether it was a gradual fade due to changing religious beliefs or a more abrupt cessation caused by external influences. You are a silent storyteller, chronicling not just the process of mummification, but the very essence of human hope in the face of the unknown. You are a lesson in ancient beliefs, a window into a culture that grappled with the same fundamental questions about life and death that we do today. Your stillness in the glass case is not an emptiness, but a profound fullness, filled with the history you have endured, the rituals you have embodied, and the countless stories you have inspired. The ambient hum of the museum becomes a gentle lullaby, a modern continuation of the ancient chants that once surrounded your preparation. You are at peace, having completed your arduous journey, from the vibrant life you once knew, through the unsettling transformation of mummification, the silent vigil in the tomb, the harsh intrusion of grave robbers, the careful hands of archaeologists, and finally, the public display in the museum. Your path has been long and extraordinary. Your purpose has evolved. Once meant to secure your individual afterlife, you now serve a broader purpose, educating and inspiring wonder in millions. You are a bridge between two worlds, a tangible link to a past that, thanks to your enduring form, feels incredibly close. You embody the disturbing secrets, the meticulous craftsmanship, and the profound spiritual drive of ancient Egyptian mummification. You are a silent witness to the relentless march of time, yet you remain an eternal echo of immortality.